What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my page. The video I'm doing today is a little bit different than some of my previous videos. If you couldn't tell from the title, it's going to be a serious video. It's about my hometown murderer, Skye McDonough. So I grew up in a small city in New Hampshire called Franklin. It's in central New Hampshire, and I went to high school with Skye. He was a freshman when I was a senior. So we never really hung out or anything, but we did have some mutual friends, so I've been around him a couple times. Little did I know back then the monster he would turn out to be. So without further ado, this is the story of my hometown murderer, Skye McDonough, and the murder of Leanna Walker. Let's get into it. On April 18th of 2016, 17-year-old Leanna Walker went missing from her home in Milford, Pennsylvania. Initially, her disappearance was reported as a runaway, according to state troopers. However, after missing for 10 days, Leanna's mother, Diane Walker, told police she had become increasingly worried that Leanna's boyfriend at the time, 24-year-old Skye McDonough, had, quote, done something bad to her. The couple had began dating in January of 2016, after being introduced by a mutual friend. Diane Walker did not know the age difference at the time, but she quickly let Leanna know that she disapproved of the relationship once she realized the 7-year gap between the two. Leanna's family and friends also noticed something off with Skye, and had warned Leanna not to see him anymore. They had noticed his controlling tendencies with Leanna and odd behavior at times. Leanna's sister mentioned that Skye had once eaten dirt that he had picked up from the ground after complaining about his bad breath, claiming that the soil cleansed the bad breath germs and released toxins. According to his Facebook page, he was also a self-proclaimed Rastafarian. A quote pulled from his page reads, "Wash the inside of the dish first, then wash the outside, so it may be called well cleaned," which is a close take of Matthew verses 23 through 26 from the Bible. Diane Walker told police that Skye had spent most of March 2016 admitted as a psychiatric patient at Bon Secours Community Hospital in New York. Despite this, Leanna and Skye had an on and off relationship for months leading up to her disappearance. After his brief stay at the hospital, Diane allowed McDonough to live at the Walker household for a few weeks while getting back on his feet. During the stay, Skye began to grow more possessive of Leanna and didn't want her around other boys. She even left Delaware Valley High School and signed up for online schooling just to appease Skye. On April 18th, Diane told Leanna that Skye was no longer allowed to stay at their household after growing increasingly concerned with Skye's behavior. Later on that same day, Leanna's younger brother saw Skye coming out of the bathroom in their house. Her brother called their mother to warn her that Skye was still around, but the couple had left the property before Diane could intervene. This would be the last day that Leanna's family saw her alive. During the time of Leanna's disappearance, arrest warrants were issued for Skye from Sussex, New Jersey, for separate, unrelated burglary and fleeing apprehension charges, tying Skye to a crime spree that he had embarked on shortly after Leanna went missing. During this period, Skye had broken into multiple homes in New Jersey, stealing food and a blanket for warmth. He was eventually found and arrested at a grocery store back in Milford, Pennsylvania on April 26th. After police had taken Skye into custody, he agreed to show them a campsite in some nearby woods where he claimed that he and Leanna had been staying since her disappearance. However, after some time was spent walking the area, police noticed they were being led in circles by Skye and not making any progress in finding Leanna. Skye managed to escape from police during this artificial search, although details as to how he escaped police custody have not been disclosed. Police found Skye the next day at the now deserted Foster Hill Llama Farm, where Skye had previously worked, shirtless and still handcuffed from the night before. They also found some items belonging to Leanna at the llama farm with Skye, which was concerning for their search, to say the least. Leanna's family mentioned that Skye often referred to her as his wife and would threaten to divorce her when he felt that she was flirting with other boys or acting malicious towards him. He also often referred to the Bible and said, quote, "If a man's wife ever leaves him, then a man should kill her," end quote. Diane told police that she had heard Sky say he'd burn us all down if she ever left him, and that Sky had told someone else that if Leanna ever left him, he, quote, wouldn't bury her body, he'd burn it, which would provide some unfortunate foreshadowing in this case. After an extensive search of the farm, police were able to locate Leanna's remains 31 days after she had gone missing. According to police, her body was found buried under about 8 inches of soil and was badly burned. Initially, Sky denied having anything to do with her murder when questioned by investigators. He told police that they were planning to escape to Jamaica, which police later confirmed through Facebook messages between the two that Sky in fact wanted to flee with Leanna, while she wanted to stay in the States with her family. Investigators would go on to gain a lot more insight while sifting through more of their previous Facebook conversations. Sky is crazy. He tried killing me and cops are trying to look for him, and he's on his way to Jamaica because if cops find him, they're putting him in a mental hospital again. Leanna had wrote to a Facebook friend, according to documents state police filed charging McDonough with murder. In another conversation, Sky writes to Leanna, quote, "I was only going to kill you for running off with another man," end quote, according to court documents. Ironically, Sky also updated his Facebook profile picture to a photo of the couple on the day that Leanna went missing. In June of 2017, Sky would finally be charged with the murder of Leanna Walker. He initially claimed that he was innocent, but court documents would reveal that while awaiting trial, he had previously told a cellmate in prison, "Well, the blood is on her head because she wouldn't change her ways." He had also reportedly told a prison guard that he thought, quote, "A bear may have got to her and ripped her up and the lightning burned her," end quote, and that she is cured and in a better place. It wasn't until November 1st of 2018 that Sky McDonough pleaded guilty to third-degree murder of Leanna Walker in the Pike County Courthouse of Milford, Pennsylvania. The cause of her death was determined by the Pike County coroner to be homicidal violence with her body burned post-mortem. In December of 2018, he was convicted of third-degree murder and was handed a sentence of between 21 years, 3 months, and 42.5 years in Pennsylvania State Prison, where Sky is serving his sentence today.
What started with a gruesome crime scene in Pike County back in 2016 has now ended with a court plea.
This is the case involving the death of Leanna Walker 2 years ago, and now a surprising and rather abrupt ending. Eyewitness News reporter Eric Dable joins us now from Milford. Eric?
Candace, good evening. Yeah, just within the last 30 minutes, Sky McDonough pleaded guilty to third-degree murder here at the Pike County Courthouse. The 27-year-old admitting to killing 17-year-old Leanna Walker 2 years ago here in Pike County. If we can go ahead and take a look at some video, McDonough was first charged with murder and kidnapping last June after a lengthy criminal investigation. This entire situation started in April of 2016 when Leanna Walker left her home with McDonough. She was never seen again. Prosecutors say Sky McDonough killed Walker and then burned and buried her remains on a llama farm here in Milford Township, where he used to work. State police and search crews found Leanna Walker's remains about a month after she went missing, after McDonough had been arrested on other charges. Now, during his guilty plea hearing this afternoon, Sky McDonough admitted that he had been treated for mental health issues in the past, but is not currently being treated. Now, based upon his third-degree murder plea here this afternoon, McDonough will face a possible maximum penalty of up to 40 years in prison. If he had taken this case to trial and been convicted of first-degree murder, he possibly could have spent the rest of his life in jail. Now, lawyers for the prosecution and the defense say they have not agreed to a possible prison term. They are instead going to leave that decision up to the judge here in Pike County. Sentencing will take place at a later date. Now, as we come back live, Sky McDonough left the Pike County Courthouse here less than 5 minutes ago, not saying anything. He is now back on his way to the Pike County Prison, possibly facing sentencing early next year.
Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching this one. It's definitely a crazy and intense story. My heart goes out to the Walker family for their loss and Leanna. And yeah, like I said, you just never know the kind of monsters that you can grow up around. So be safe out there and take care. Thank you.